chair thing, please, for me.
Okay.
Are you live now? Okay.
Hey guys.
Brianna, go sit in the chairs, please. Did you turn your phone on mute?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have us all right there on that. Okay, now do this.
Hey guys.
So where will everybody be sitting here then?
Hi guys.
Brianna next to me, I guess. Is Tori here?
I haven't seen her.
So.
So we gotta rotate folks
Hi
in? or
Amy.
what's
Oh
the-
no, we could do more chairs.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I'm at a TV.
So,
TV show. What? Not a TV show. It's gonna be
So we need to
hilarious.
like this here, or do we need to?
I'm gonna put you. Hey guys, that's the
We
live.
got 10 minutes, so there could be two of them.
Two more?
Yes, so
How are you?
at least for Tori.
Okay.
Because she's
Yes.
supposed to be bringing some,
I can add a chair over there. I think that should be good, right?
Okay.
All right.
7 minutes, Brianna.
Okay, I guess.
Hey guys, that's good.
Excuse me.
As long as the cameras are set right, I think.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, now I can do this. I can do this. Here's a studio audience, brother.
Sweet. Sweet. Cool. You just want me to be quiet, yeah? No, like during the thing.
Call in at 7 to talk live on CCTV channel 23.
Hello, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3.
So Trina's gonna be talking, but her partner won't be on TV.
Okay. If they show up, yeah, maybe not, because we got Brianna.
Yeah. Okay, just so that I can fix the
So you
chairs
know
and
what's
stuff.
going on.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna take that.
Okay. I'll bring tone down. There we go. Yay. I'm in my hillbilly. There we go. Got Perry there. Peek. There we go. Lilette is watching. Lilette. Go put your mic on, Monk. Or you can say hi. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so
A TV show.
Do you have to go to school to do that job?
I'm an intern, so and I go to school right now at Willamette, so it's just kind of like I'm learning as I go.
Got you. Cool. Okay.
Hello, folks, and welcome to Mercy TV Setup.
Hello, buddy.
Hey, I'm Michael.
Pete.
Pete? Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
I go by PK.
PK. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Hi there, Sheriff. You doing well? School is well to you? No bullies?
Oh, no, you should be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Do they have a DARE program or any kind of education? Do you know what DARE program is? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, that's a good sign.
Trust me. Yeah.
I imagine they have some form of education, whether a brochure, pamphlet, or a regular talk that they give. Might even have a police officer come in and tell you about the dangers of drugs. Be interesting to see what they're doing these days. Well, I'm glad that one's relegated to the ash heap of history, although it's not, I wouldn't get too comfortable that they didn't do something like that again. You know?
I can see PK. And I can see Barry involved. Okay.
About
So, are people
Yeah.
from Oregon City?
Are you saying like in that chair over there?
Yeah.
education.
Yeah, usually what I can do is
Yeah.
Right over. I'm like, wait.
We'll have a ladder.
That's fine,
Sorry
isn't
about
it?
that.
Okay, that's good.
How's that?
That's perfect, yeah. Thank you so much,
Are you
Charles.
serious? No,
Hopefully
I did there in California
fishing and I'll be here.
years ago.
Really?
So, but
Well,
to have
you
her
never
face,
know
she doesn't
when guys will
even
take
about,
us.
like, I remember
You got that
I
right.
got grounded growing up.
Yeah, you know,
be here, but she'll be here
we
at the
can
very
make,
last
we can
minute.
make some plans.
You got the
So-
phone, okay?
They did
I'm
that.
curious too. To do
Right.
that.
Okay.
Nobody listens.
Well, there's
Well,
something happening.
they will sooner or
I'm
later.
certain. Hey, Charles.
I can imagine like, one person was it.
Great. Cool. Hello,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm Michael.
Mendoza, nice to meet you. Are you gonna be in there? Bro?
No, I'm just a.
He's studio audience member there.
Would you
Okay,
like to
everybody
have
has
a
a microphone
shotgun
now?
microphone so you can make comments?
Do we have a?
Yeah, you can.
Do we have a?
Check it
I
mic.
thought that's what is that one right there? Is that a mic that's set up?
No, that's a stand.
I mean, I was just mentioning that same thing that I mentioned. to him.
So we're gonna do it?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
give him so we can.
Can I move that some off to the side?
Right here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's where you want it.
That's the shotgun mic. So you wanna try, you gotta say something there. Okay?
So guess what happened at school today? So people were running. Like we were
Wanna fix the
kind
camera?
of playing like
Yeah, go ahead and start fixing the camera.
the thing where you had that bat and baseball.
I don't know why I'm so wound up.
Softball,
Baseball, is it?
Baseball.
big ball or small
It's
ball?
like it's the
12 foot
thing
bit.
with the bat.
Yeah,
With the
baseball.
bat, baseball, yeah. So
Do you ever go on you think so?
Oh, well, it's been a while.
Yes.
DK does mostly here. Unbutton your thing.
Oh yeah, the. Type tight or
Hi there, people in T.
Facebook and Facebook, YouTube and Facebook.
So, hi there, people.
All right.
Hey, give us a call if you want to talk about cannabis and the benefits of it. Please, our number is 503.
588 64
44.
Hey,
4,
503.
588
64, 44.
Oh, that's right. We were saying it all at the same time at last.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. We had everybody was telling the number last time.
Oh, do you want to check the cameras?
Would you like a glass of water?
Maybe?
Okay, let's go get some water.
You guys could get a glass or some beer with this too. if you want. The green liquid.
I'm gonna look.
Brianna! Oh, sorry. I thought she ran running with
Jerked off.
Come on. Just don't touch it.
Oh, it says, do you want to tag Edward P. Bigger in this photo?
Oh yeah. Edward P.
Where were you on the night of August 4th?
So that should be.
Where were you?
27.
27.
Thank you,
I
Denise.
don't remember.
Is that where everybody good?
There's some people saying some stuff on my Facebook I can see. I can't see that far. Can you hear us out there in Facebook land? Balla bang bang bang.
Oh, somebody said something.
Hey people, it's me, Bree.
Here for education.
And conversation.
Education and conversation,
So
yes.
call in. Let us know what you think,
Yep.
what you feel, what you say.
503,
588.
64, 44.
This
You remember
is
from last week then, don't you?
Mercy TV Live.
Mercy TV Live, CCTV channel 23, Comcast, Salem.
Yay!
Yep.
Vroom vroom, baby. This ain't no messing around. This is the big time.
That's right.
Hey, you got the biggers right here. That's why.
Big time with the biggers.
Big time with biggers.
Yep.
And the,
Little bigger,
and
daddy
the big
bigger.
icons. One sitting on
Yay!
each side of me right here.
And the coverage don't get any bigger than this, folks. We are international.
Yes, we are. We talked to Priya
From India to all around the world.
all around the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Certainly Mercy, the Medical Cannabis Resource Center, of which this Mercy TV is an action item. Many thanks to our volunteers like PK, who keep it going. Reed, also, and
Hey, you gotta remember Mike, Shauna,
right,
Like Sean,
Grandma Janet,
Dr.
right.
Levesque.
Dr. Lubeck,
Our brother Sonny,
her brother Sonny,
Aisha, the folks used to answer the phones.
John Walsh
Oh, yeah.
down in Eugene.
Yeah,
Remember what's gonna be funny? That those
Almost ready?
my friend and her sister are gonna call in,
Well,
Okay.
see? Yep.
and she's
So
only
you can talk. You can talk about what you learned. Because isn't this about being a learning experience?
Yes.
so it's supposed to be educational.
Where's
How many
All right.
minutes? I don't know. Remember, she was supposed to.
We're getting a
4
signal.
minutes?
Cool. Thank you.
Well,
okay.
I guess I could be calling you.
I mean, that's our thing. It can be summarized in 3:
Education.
inform, educate, activate.
Yeah.
Give everybody the tools and information.
Yeah.
What
So
those means there.
today I got the voter
Pamphlet.
pamphlet to vote, and look, people, this is what our forefathers and our fathers fought for.
Is
Now
voting,
it's
the right
our
to vote.
duty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
For- the right
and if
for-
you're not sure, put your own name down.
Right.
But ask your neighbors what would be
Yeah.
the
Right.
right thing, and make
And
the
read-
common
Read the
sense.
pamphlets, even though they're
Yeah.
confusing and they word things that you want to be confused. It's like yes means no and no means yes. You don't. it's hard to figure out, but I mean, it's better to vote than not. I mean,
And those you can go online. There's a lot of resources. There's votesmart.org, which is constantly keeping
Felons
track of
can vote,
Yeah.
vote.
keeping track of how your legislators voted. So there's a lot of groups out there going through the tough work of getting this information and lining it up nice and easy for you to find. There's a couple of cannabis-centric voters guides going on here in Oregon. I know the folks at what's the group? What's Anthony Taylor's group?
And if you don't vote, you're wasting your rights.
well, and you're wasting other people's lives that they
Well,
put down
More
so we
important,
could
yeah.
vote.
Yeah, not only is that vote not out there, towards good candidates and causes, but they win. The folks who are disenfranchising voters, who are discouraging voters,
1 minute.
see that statistic and they're encouraged to do more of the crap that they've been doing, and we don't need that. So folks need to vote, participate, just to show them that we're not afraid, that we're not discouraged.
People in the TV or wherever you are, we're going to take a moment break and we're going to start this show. And Henry Turner sings this song, Modern Medication. This doesn't work for
It's
me.
no good for me.
So, listen to
Modern
this.
medication is no good for me. Modern medication. Modern medication. No good for me. Or you. Or the people you care about.
You're sitting right
Oh,
down
here we go.
And there's microphones there, you can put that on if you'd like. 30 seconds.
Oh, you're tight.
30 seconds.
Thank you, Tori. Glad you made it.
Tori, mic check,
Yeah,
please.
figure it out.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Excellent.
It's all right, Tony. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are doing
I
good.
knew you were. Oh, I like that.
You really like that?
You make that? Did you make that?
Okay, so this is from.
It doesn't have any prices or anything.
No,
else.
no, not at all. It's just it's a
Oh, it's
science.
gas. Oh,
Very educational.
And we were discussing.
Put it right in front of you. Put it right in front of you.
But in a minute, in a minute. Hello, welcome to Mercy TV, your source for news and information on the cannabis issue as it unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and around the world. Greetings, my name is Perry, and along with PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV along with our very special guests, Weedman, Bria, and Tori. And we'll, I got several, I hope we get this all squeezed in there, so we got several viewpoints.
yes.
We have the youth view,
Yes.
our-
That's right. Brianna's here.
chief youth correspondent, or our youngest chief correspondent, however you want to look at it, I
Right.
suppose.
Yeah.
Weedman, talking about his activist activities host. PK can talk more about
My garden.
my
His
garden and
I seen it.
his work and efforts with the patient community here in Salem that we're supporting. And of course, longtime friend Tori, here to talk about all the different projects she has going on. We have a little
Yeah.
view
Move
here.
it in front of you, please.
I brought us a
Mhm.
chart this evening
Okay.
so we could see and get it a little bit more information that cannabinoids are not just found in cannabis.
Excellent.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Not only that, and looking at what we're discussing here and showing Brianna, as well as getting some other information and more information out there, as
Yes.
when we bring in more of the science
Mm-hmm.
into our cannabis and hemp products, we can actually dial it in a little better to actually target more conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Here, here.
Here, here.
When we're able to target a condition, we can actually work more towards microdosing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, giving us the ability to have smaller crop sizes when weather or seasons aren't necessarily so great, or a bug or maybe a mildew or something might attack our crop, and we need our medicines to go further. So
That's a good
being
point.
able to have the opportunity to understand microdosing and how sometimes less is more gives us different flexibility even in our medicines and in what we can do with them and how we can sometimes make a little go a long way.
Nice.
Here.
Yeah.
Endless bowl.
Very
You
good.
said that there's foods now or that has the. Could you tell us about the foods and the other?
Other items
Sweet
that have
potatoes.
cannabinoids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get your pen and, like PK would say, get your pen and paper out, guys, please.
For
Yeah.
instance, mangoes carry myrcene.
Wow.
How many people knew that a
Mhm.
mango
Mercies.
also had myrcene? Myrcene is another cannabinoid.
Mangoes
Along with
have
terpenes and
cannabinoids.
terpenes.
Oh, I can taste the terpenes in mango. I was chomping them yesterday. I love mango.
Interesting.
Who here knew about pepper?
Oh, I did. Black
Yeah.
paprika, black pepper.
It's
Not paprika.
just black pepper and paprika. It's all of our peppers, but yes, peppercorns even,
Okay.
as well as all of them have other. Pardon me, I'm gonna flip this up just so we
Yes,
can
yes,
all
yeah.
get it, and I definitely do not want to detract here from our friends.
Let's see what you got.
But we've got the careful, I can't, excuse my pronunciation, and I apologize, which is why I wanted to lift the chart so I could actually show you the cannabinoid that's actually in there that I have a difficult time in pronouncing. So I do
Lemon-
apologize
Oh, lemon.
for my
Lemons? Is that
pronunciation.
lemon? Lemon?
Yeah, and linalool and pinene and terpene
Keratin.
Keratin.
Oh, carrot. Oh,
And not only
keratin.
that,
Terpene, yeah.
and carrotene is found in barks as well as cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So those are.
Eucalyptol,
You hear that?
Yeah.
Brianna?
Yeah, that.
Vizol,
carophyllene.
humulene, which
Mhm.
that in itself is also another terpene that we can even find in hops.
Interesting.
So again, terpenes
All those
can be
IPA
found-
drinkers.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you're finding your terpenes. Terpenes can be
hops.
found in so many different, and if we look at it, in fact, it says chamomile, hops, black pepper, mint, our woodsies, which are, all of our,
Lilacs.
exactly,
Fine.
our pine, our citrus, our
Citrus,
lavenders, and our mango.
So all of those, we
All
can
of
take
these-
those if you're a child. Cannabinoid system is what you're saying.
Exactly. When we're looking at filling our endocannabinoid systems, we can do this in more ways than just cannabis. And by
yeah.
bringing that out and showing that, especially for our children,
Mhm.
where they're still frowned upon necessarily to bring in a traditional cannabinoid product, even something as simple as a hemp profile,
Right.
we want to also make sure that we're educating the general public that
Yeah.
cannabinoids are available in all different
Your
forms.
lettuces.
Lettuce.
You can even get them within your lettuces.
Right.
Cannabinoid profiles are
Is
available.
tamarack a bark too? I'm sorry, I didn't. Tamarack?
Tamarack.
Yeah.
I
I'd say
believe,
tamarack.
isn't that an herb?
Maybe an herb. But
I
still,
believe-
though, there's
Yeah.
there's the CBDs in there. That's so
And-
cool.
Exactly.
Well, the receptors that we have, developed for all sources of these things that they're receiving for, not the least of which is the CBDs, but as well the CBNs, CBGs, and the whole alphabet there. And that's just what we know now. So it's good for folks to be able to get the most out of it, because often they have
The
to
whole
get very
point.
specialized strains that have the most of what they're looking for. Then again, there's CBGs, CBNs.
Well,
Reference the chart here
so
for the list
we-
there, but
Could you see it ever
and each one
happening?
having its own application.
Could you guys ever see it happening in the schools that they educate children about this?
Well,
Do you hear about this in school, Brianna?
No.
Do they do any kind of drug education in your school? What grade are you in?
6th grade.
Sixth grade?
Mhm.
Well, you know our view on cannabis and how we use it as a medicine. Do they talk to you about other like dangerous drugs? No? Did you get that thing I sent you about the strawberry quick?
Yes.
Do you remember reading about that? You want to talk about it? No, I don't want to embarrass you, but it's a dangerous thing out there that they're giving children on the playground. It's the stuff called strawberry quick, and it's a methamphetamine that is actually pops in your mouth like a pop rock, and it's candy. I've got a few people saying that on Facebook. Now, if anybody has any hard copy, fact that that's out there, I'd like to hear back, because people that target children and put them on drugs are not the kind of guys we want. And we've got Brianna here to educate her about these things.
Interesting.
That way, when she grows up, when you grow up, you're gonna go to a party, you're gonna go to prom, you're gonna get older, and people are gonna offer you drugs. So what have I taught you to say?
To say no.
And if that happens, what do you do?
Just say no and probably like smack it up.
What if somebody says, "Oh, your dad's the weed man. Come on, we got to smoke some of this here. You want some?" What are you gonna say?
No, thank you.
Good job.
And do you know the difference, in bringing up your dad and weed man, the difference between why your dad uses cannabis compared to other types of pharmaceuticals that he could use as his medicine, where he uses cannabis as his form of medicine compared to cannabis used recreationally. There is a difference between the two. Do you know what that is? Or can we help educate you today? So then you can educate the rest of your community.
Yeah.
Here.
So remember what we said? Remember we were talking about on the car here? We said, I asked you, so how am I different than when I used to drink and I would do those other drugs, the meth?
Yes.
How am I different now?
That you go to jail less.
That's what you said.
Actually, that's huge. Because
Yeah.
again, if you're not in jail, then one, you're actually able to bring care, concern, hope, and just your presence at home, a stable income.
Yeah.
Not only that, that insecurity of, a parent constantly not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
So that
She doesn't have to worry about where's dad because he's
Yes.
off drinking and doing drugs or meth and ending up in bad places and ending up in jail or my gosh. I mean, and the one thing that is so wonderful, I believe, about cannabis being legal in our state is that when Brianna grows up, if she does want to, and she'll go to a dispensary where there's not some guy sitting there saying, "Here, you want a crack rock with this? You want some meth, or we got something like that." That's what our youth and that's what we are getting to look forward to now.
Very true. Very true. Education in the youth is but when Measure 91 was passed, they said 3 times in writing they would not hurt the medical program. Look now, you're paying outrageous money for a outside grow site. Patients didn't have location to grow even their 4 plants. At one time, the Mercy Center was helping out the patients.
Yeah.
This was at the beginning of the law.
Well,
Now it's
how many?
changed.
community gardens, co-ops have now become tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Well, the whole
gardens,
community,
and it's just not the same.
a number of changes, a number of bad alterations to the law, deliberately meant to drive out growers, to drive out patients, to crush the program, has been going on over the past couple of years. And so now we have a program that even the folks running it say they say it has too many people with the program, and they're not going to add conditions. They're not going to do anything that could be misinterpreted as being pro patient or pro cannabis or anything of that nature. So the patient community really has to get together and support each other. The growers, we have to go back to almost to the days before OMA, where there was a network of people who were growers, who knew growers, with the caregivers, with the patient community, and folks were constantly at the risk of arrest and going to jail. And some of those people who were arrested then are still in jail, by golly, and that's one of the changes that we just haven't seen.
And I wish Raymond would call in from Texas.
Me. Hey, I just got my voter ballot in the mail. You people must have gotten your ballot too. Now talk to your neighbor or talk to your relatives. You need to send this in before the 6th of November.
Yes.
And it's important. Our forefathers fought for this right. And it's an honor to have at least writing your own name in if you're not sure about the.
That's why
candidate.
PK puts the American flags here.
That's right.
Because we're all Americans. So many people fought and died for our right to just sit right here and do what we're doing today.
Yeah.
So I actually called and double checked to make sure I was
CCTV.
registered.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Folks, go online. There's a number of resources that let you verify that you are registered.
Yep, just Google
And it's
it.
an important this election cycle. There's a lot of disenfranchisement going on. There's a lot of people that are getting kicked off the poll, and so forth. So for their sake, vote. Go TV. Help everybody to get to the polls. Make sure those ballots get dropped off.
Absolutely.
And as PK was saying, if you don't know who to vote for, write yourself in.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Hey, you want the job done right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
If
you're
you have
tired
enough
of this
friends that
nonsense here.
I've always grown up thinking how important it would be to educate in our schools that children vote.
Mhm.
And here we are with
children
Brianna.
can help with voting. They can help
Well,
register people to vote.
They
They can
grow
encourage
up.
people to vote.
Exactly.
And in some cases, they can probably drive them to the voting
There you
polls
go.
before they're able to.
Even
vote
vote
themselves.
themselves. Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. And
Turn your phone on mute.
It is.
Really important that it happens. I mean, think about it, folks. If everybody who refused to vote because Bernie wasn't on the ballot wrote him in instead of not voting,
Exactly.
we'd be
We're
looking
sitting with Bernie.
those millions of people. That was the difference. That's what Hill and certainly more than the Trumpster got. So,
As an American, it's your obligation to vote, not just a privilege.
and
It is an
Yeah.
obligation.
let me
You're absolutely
close
right.
by
You can't
saying
even get on jury duty.
rights are
if you
like
vote.
muscles. Use them or lose them here. So
Yep. And if you're not exercising them, what happens? The atrophy.
that's absolutely, yeah.
Seriously. If we're not using them, they go away. And
They'll be
that's
lost.
reality.
Yeah.
And look at how many of our rights have already gone to the wayside now.
And,
I have something to say.
Yes, darling.
How are you? Plus, if you don't exercise, then you'll kind of get
right.
Again, atrophy. It just
Right.
sort of hangs on.
You
with
don't
ya,
exercise,
and
you
get
start
that
to
Lose your
extra
muscles
flex.
or they're
Yeah.
overlaid with fat.
Yeah.
That's a sideways view of the weed man.
Otherwise smothered, but
But it's a good analogy,
Right.
Bree. Very
You know.
good.
Yeah, it's like your mind is a garden. If you don't take out all the weeds and you don't keep it clean, you don't take care of it, it's just gonna go to.
It's
not
cluttered,
gonna- it's
overgrown,
Mhm.
then
full.
full
So
Sometimes you have to declutter.
do it. I mean, it's really something that everybody should do. Help where you can, any way you can. Help ferry people. Just go door to door. Meet your neighbors, and make sure they got to the polls, got taken care of.
Hey,
Don't matter what the party, who they say they're going to vote for. Just
Vote.
go.
do it.
Our strength is in numbers.
Yes.
Ours is a numbers game. We win. We are popular. So if everybody goes to the polls, we win. So that's
Well,
our
you know,
goal.
And you know what's really interesting is when you read the voter pamphlet and you actually educate yourself as to what the issues truly are and who's out there running and what they stand for.
Mhm.
You know, just because you might be identified with one particular party or another doesn't mean that you still don't have the choice to vote in a different party.
No,
You
right.
are not stuck to whatever that says. You have those options. It doesn't say because you're Democrat or Republican that you can't vote Libertarian. If you
Mhm.
find that they answer or resonate better to what they might be representing in that county or in that particular region.
Mhm.
So don't limit yourself just by what you may think you know. Reading the voter pamphlet might give you a lot more information.
Certainly
Yeah,
not
sure.
for a dislike or that, but what the person's going to do for you. They got to
Yeah.
do what you need done. If not, then you seek those that are most likely to.
That's what I'm saying. Don't just look at a
Absolutely.
party and and turn your back on it because you don't particularly like what that particular party represents. We might be actually walking past somebody who could actually be the best person to really represent us and lead us down that trail that could actually breed prosperity and hope.
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yes.
People out in TV
Lilette
land,
is watching.
call us. It's 503.
588.
6444.
Yes, please call
We'd
in.
like to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been here 20 minutes now, and our phone hasn't rang once, so
Oh my
we're
goodness.
slacking.
Yeah,
We're slacking.
I'm sorry.
Sad.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then we may have to wrap it up in a
Oh,
short little
yeah.
half-hour time, and not
Yeah.
go the you folks out there and
If you're not interested.
social
Facebook.
media land.
Yeah.
You know.
If our
Give us a
conversation, you find it boring, stimulate us.
Yes.
Yes,
Where-
Please.
Which way would you like us to go? on this?
Yeah.
John from
Direct.
California.
Is he called?
No.
Yeah, John Prince. Yeah, John Prince. Raina from Texas. How about tell us about Free the Weed? What's going on down there with a gentleman who's been in federal prison for like a while because of.
Henry Turner, who
Right.
sings
Louisiana.
the
Let's hear
opening
from you. How about
song.
North Carolina? Let's see if they're still busting people for wastewater,
Yeah.
improper
Yeah.
wastewater storage and disposal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, still trying to recover from the hurricane. I guess a lot of people are. But that's it. That's crazy. How government bureaucracies are like prohibition. It was amazing that during Katrina, during pretty much all these disasters, that in the aftermath of the destruction, they go sweeping in with their helicopters to round up potheads where they can. Not even assist the people right in front of them on their doorstep. But they were still carrying out operations and nonsense like that.
Yeah. We've got
For a
people who
plan.
need water.
For a
We have
plan.
people,
Right.
who need just the basic food necessities, and in some cases medicine, or we need to transport people from hospitals that are, losing their emergency equipment because they can't run their generators
Right.
due to whatever natural disaster is going on. But, let's go bust that pothead
Oh yeah.
because, he's gonna, cause some chaos and some havoc,
What? And here we are not doing that.
And that insanity is
Yeah.
reflected in current policy at the
Yes.
border. Canada. Oh, Canada.
Oh my goodness! And how many more days and they get to and there
I
are
believe
already.
some places are selling it now
Actually,
as we
they
speak
became
here.
legal on the 17th.
Right.
They sold out, you should see the lines of the dispensaries. They
So,
were around the corner, in some cases
Wow.
around blocks.
there
And
you
just
go.
think of all that money that they could be. Are they
Cha-ching.
making it for education and for
all of it.
roads
the
and
whole
everything?
gamut. They've already been.
Remember last time when we asked OLCC gentlemen, we asked them where are those funds going? Why like here, Brianna, she don't get educated. She's in Independence, Oregon, and there's no kind of education, drug education in there in her school, and they're not. Those dollars aren't going there. No, not to be negative. I remember the first words that he said. Well, they're supposed to be going to education, to roads. It's supposed to be going here, but they never really gave a number.
Well, there's
So-
gonna have to be a change in mindset, a change in
That's the
Philosophy.
CC.
and a change in
working.
policy at
Yes.
the top, at the feds.
We need to talk to
Because right now,
got to talk to our legislators.
folks going to the Canadians trying to get into the U.S. are being grilled as to their cannabis use, and if they've used cannabis, they are being banned for life.
From coming into the U.S.
U.S. Yes, even at the states where it's legal, because it's federal policy. Ha ha ha. Oh, but gosh, guess what?
What
You
about
can
the
you can
decentralization
buy
of
an
CBD?
exception to this here.
Oh, in Walmart at the pharmacies.
No,
No,
there's
he's
a
saying
form,
there's a-
government form
he's
that you
saying
can
that you
fill
can
out
actually
and a
purchase-
process you can go through.
Oh,
And I'm sure it helps
What's
if
the
you have
permit?
it.
What's
It's
the
like
cost of the permit?
$600.
Yeah, thank you. That's what
Yeah,
I wanted.
see?
See, now you
It's
can
like the
buy
room
your
war,
way
it's just
Oh
out.
my
fine. It's just
God.
about all about money.
Otherwise,
know.
you're banned for life.
Right.
If you don't pay them $600,
You
you're,
can't
you're
get into
banned.
the
You
US.
can't get into the U.S.
And this
Isn't
is
that
for
considered
being
extortion?
honest. Of course, if you lie and say you're banned, so it's like a no-win here, you know?
Isn't that extortion?
Yeah, you would
Isn't
think.
that a form of
That's the
extortion?
medical program. We helped out
Right.
several
These
different.
heavy fines in the medical program, what are they
My
for?
goodness.
They're because it's evil and dangerous and you have to be watched. It's not true. You know, it's a complete canard. And yet-
Exactly.
That's the philosophy, that's the policy, and that has to change. It's got to change at the top.
How many
You know,
people?
grill the governor, grill your state legislators, grill your county commissioners,
Vote.
you know? Because
Vote.
the guys who are running the program right now, all appointed there by legislators,
Thank you.
are downright anti-medical cannabis. They are not helping these patients at all.
And this is what happens when we allow ourselves to get angry, allow our emotions to run away with it. We don't look at the people that are elected because we get so overwhelmed and distracted that we make the choice to not vote.
So,
And when we do that, the people that are elected and the ones
Well-
that are doing this are anti-cannabis.
Right.
They are anti-this.
right.
They're and they're driving our laws
All the way
because
down,
they
you
made
know.
us mad.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Excuse me. Edward's talking about
Prop 9 was it Prop
91.
How are we gonna fix that? How can we address that?
No, see, that's a misnomer to say that there's anything in 91 that affected the programs, that there was some law or something to change it. No.
What's effect? What can we do?
What happened was that 91 distracted folks. It took resources away. The prohibitionists who were poised, who've been just drooling at the mouth with the prospect of rolling back the medical marijuana program, in fact, killing it altogether, were just waiting for the opportunity to put forth these changes to the law that we just experienced. They were going to try to do them anyway, whether or not 91 passed or happened.
mhm.
So they're the ones putting forth this thing that 91 is doing this to you. It's not us. It's 91 is doing this to you.
No, we need reform back
They
to
promised
91.
they wouldn't do anything. They didn't do anything. There was nothing in that law that changed it. It's these freaking prohibitionists, it's these legislators that did it.
Exactly, 91.
We gotta vote them out now.
Yes, we do.
And they're gonna, because and look, folks, they're hurting you other ways. They're also messing with your education, your home, your health care. If you look down the line, these prohibitionists are anti-people all the way down, you know,
Yeah.
so you know, whatever right, whatever group,
Oh,
whatever,
it
you know,
says,
thing
do
you're
you
thinking
want
of, you
to
can
tag
back
Edward
these folks. If they're a prohibitionist, they are not your friend.
Not
Right.
really. Not
You
really.
don't have to smoke cannabis to get the benefits of the medicine.
You can eat mangoes. You can eat.
Well, you can put it
can
in
eat
oil, you can put it in butter, you
Yeah.
can do it in several edible
You know, one of
ways.
the
Right.
things that we're
Cookies.
doing right now, we're doing,
You can eat mints.
exactly. But we're also making, medicated
Juleps.
sugars,
Mint juleps.
medicated oils that you can cook with so you can control, again, the dosages.
Right.
You know, you can understand what you're using. You can medicate different things like a tea or a cup of coffee. So you're not being so overly medicated.
Microdose.
You know, again, being able to understand different forms. And there are so many different forms out there. I mean, come on, we put it into.
Pharmaceutical drugs aren't good for us from the side effects that they cause. Even though the doctor says no, this will help you.
Yeah, it's funny to be going through a quote opioid crisis when, gosh, for the past couple of years, we've been having people getting punished for reducing their opioid use due to cannabis. Oh, well, we're kicking you off the program altogether. It's like, huh?
Really.
And here's what you get, an opioid crisis with that kind of mentality, that philosophy. So
Exactly.
register, vote, get everybody you know to do so also.
Please
Thank you.
remember to educate your children. Let them know that there's bad things out there, there's good things out there. Let them know. Give them the choice to
Say
see,
no.
to say no.
Right on.
So they don't know what it is.
Ed, thanks for being on. Lead man. Tori, thanks for coming on. Good to see you again. PK?
Watch my garden. And because of Mike, because of Shauna, because of Grandma Janet, Mike,
Yeah, you can hear Grandma at the close of the show there when she says her blessings to you all. Good night, and we'll see you later.
God bless. Go safe. Go weed man.
Also, Mike, Shauna, right? Grandma Janet, Dr. Levesque, our brother Sonny, Aisha, the folks used to answer the phones. John Walsh, down in Eugene.
So is there a way to see where the money is going?
Yeah,
How
we
do
need
you
to,
check
we
that?
actually need to follow the money.
It was really
Hey,
weird.
brother.
He said in his car, no, there's nothing like that. I was
Those are
younger.
Tories, I'll bet.
Yeah, yeah, that was the DARE program.
Hey, will you wait?
Okay, that's a wrap. Well, thanks, folks,
Get a
for staying
picture
in.
before we
Yeah,
all
we're
leave.
back.
yeah,
Hey, brother, Mike,
We're back.
will you take our picture, please?
I will.
No, you're in it.
We're
in
back?
This one, remember? No.
No, we're back to our social media folks here.
Okay, guys, we're
Wrap
out of
up
here.
the show.
We're wrapping it up. Thank you so much for coming and showing up. We're gonna get some pictures. God bless. Go safe. Okay. On this phone.
Get a group shot here.
Yep, get a nice one of us, please.
Tori, I lost my phone. I need you to the picture.
Oh, you lost your phone?
Yeah.